some of our students who have completed level 3 in education and training. As Alina said, this was a pilot program which we done during the course of last year from September till February. It was run on Saturdays, every Saturday, and there was a lot of commitment from volunteers working in madrasas and supplementary schools to take out their time and build their capacity so they can transfer those skills to young people in the madrasas. Most of these people didn't have any formal qualification from this country, so it was a good experience for them, and they've shown a lot of commitment for this course as well. Like Alina said, we are continuing the course. We had a very successful partnership with the Education Partnership UK, and Saida, who's away at the moment, and we're going to have a partner who's actually representing from Educational Partnership UK. I'm sure we can continue the relationship in the near future as well. And also like to thank everybody for coming today. The Superintendent of Police, Simon Atkinson, Mohammed Arshad, Dorothy Stewart, Lord Mayor and Lady Mayors. The format program today is Mohammed Arshad, who is tutor for Education Partners UK. He will just give you a bit overview of the course, what the course is about. And also we're expecting some testimony from students as well. We're still waiting for a couple of students to turn up, hopefully they will in a minute. And then we'll have a few words from the President of Council of Mosque, Mohammed Rafiq Sagal, and then Simon Atkinson from West Yorkshire Police will say a few words, and Reverend Dorothy Stewart, who will represent the Bishop Bradford, who was unable to attend today due to his commitments, and then finally we'll have the Lord Mayor of Bradford, Councillor Jeff Reid, who will say a few words, and then we'll give the awards to the successful students. So I think it's only fair that if I can introduce Mohammed Arshad, who was a tutor on the program, he'll just give an overview of what the course is about and some of the experiences he has had.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. I'm just going to do a brief overview. I'll stop doing the thanking. I think Javed's already done that. I had the honour and privilege to teach and be inspired by approximately 13 to 14 students across 13 supplementary schools across the Bradford district. The level 3 education and training program that we delivered over the autumn and winter period. It was hugely successful, and it would have been a success if it wasn't for the support of Javed himself turning up to all the sessions on Saturday, as well as the students who are also teachers in their own rights in their own subjects. So not only some of them work during the week, during the day, volunteer their times in the evenings, but then on Saturday I was pulling them in and getting them to do loads of homework and teaching sessions and loads of assignments. So today is an opportunity to celebrate their success. So I'm pleased to see quite a few of the students in the audience, and they will no doubt tell you themselves how they found it, the course. The idea with the level 3, I don't know if some of you are aware of what used to be called petals, or preparing to teach in the lifelong learning sector. That was the original course. It got changed by the awarding bodies, and it's now called the Education and Training Level 3. And the idea behind this qualification is to give teachers a formal teaching qualification, initial teaching qualification, to actually then allow the students, or potential teachers now, to go on to a level 4, which will make them associate teachers. So just to give you an idea, what that basically means is that if somebody hasn't got a degree and they want to do a PGCE qualification, which is a level 7, this is effectively the first semester of that course, but without the hefty £3,000 or £9,000 fee that you pay. So that, we've got to thank Bradford Council for that, for providing the initial seed funding for that, for delivering the course. And like you heard, it's going to be delivered again on a larger scale. There was 3 units that were delivered, and some of the students, I have to admit that, very nervous about delivering a half an hour, 15-minute teaching session, but they did it. All students that did the assessment passed, so that's testimony, the certificates are here. And also, some of the students, which are, they say that good teachers teach, great teachers inspire. I think these were great students. They inspired me because some of these people are from backgrounds where their first language is not English. So for them to produce work at a level 3, which is equivalent to A level, vocational level, and to produce assignments and do that in their spare time and then turn up on a Saturday morning to these classes, is definitely a testimony, and they deserve a round of applause for both of you.
Thank you, Shizam, and I'm sure he was a great inspirational teacher as well. And I'd like to invite Muhammad Abu Bakr from the Jamia Muhammadiyya Qadiyya, just coming here, just to give a bit of an overview and his experience on the course. And I'm putting on a hot spot, I'm sure you
First of all, my apologies for coming late. As you know, it's madrasa classes in the evenings. MashaAllah, the course, although I've done other teaching courses in the past, and I studied my GCSEs and my further education in this country and abroad, it was a very informative course, and it taught me a lot of new ways how to deal with situations, how to teach children in a better way. Alhamdulillah, we didn't complete the course. It was a difficult Saturday morning, but it was a good course overall. And I hope Bradford Council, with all the other courses that they run for the madrasas, they will, together we will make the madrasas more professional, and especially with more qualified teachers, and we'll be able to bring the best out of our kids, hopefully similarly like they do in school. Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else want to volunteer? I don't put anybody else on hot spot. Okay, now our next speaker is the President of Council for Mosque, Muhammad Rafiq Sandal. And also we are just launching a new project with them, it's quality framework for supplementary schools, and which we actually do training today, which will be launched pretty soon. And he's going to say a few words on behalf of Council for Mosque.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening everybody. First of all, can I welcome the Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress, and congratulate him on his new civic role for the city of Bradford, and hope it goes well. Simon Atkins, our police commander, Archer, who's done a tremendous job in actually Dorothy, and Bradford Education, Alina Javed. I'd like to thank you. I think it was a splendid and wonderful piece of work. I think it's something that can be set in a role model's role within Bradford. I think rolling it out, although teachers had a lot of qualifications and they did have sort of the initial training in the madaris and masjids, but I think it was important that they went out a bit further and actually did the academic qualifications, which were recognized here in the city that we live in, and also throughout the world. I think it's important that we have that partnership, and it was fantastic working with Education Bradford and Bradford Council, and I'd like to thank them for actually taking that initiative and actually and for the Council of Mosque Bradford to be working in partnership with Bradford Education. And I think it really, it's a tool that our teachers can take to the next level. It's a starting point where they can actually teach other children, other mentors, and teach mentors within the mosques and madaras. And it's important that they expand that on a wider scale. Bradford, I think, has always taken a lead in a lot of the good stuff that happens, although that isn't the case in the media's eyes, but I think there's a lot of work behind closed doors which is done, and maybe it's not been recognised on the level that it should be recognised. And it's all the hard work of people like yourselves sat in this room who show an interest and dedication to the city that we dearly love, and the city that we're proud to say, Bradford, it's our hometown. We need to live in the city as a unit, and we need to work together in this. And again, thank you very much, Bradford Council, and I hope that it will be expanded to other, although initially we've only started with 13, and I hope it goes wider, and I hope it sort of really works with all the faith communities within Bradford, and we work an exemplary sort of setup in Bradford. Thank you very much, and thank you everybody for coming here and taking it.
Our next speaker is the Chief Superintendent of Police, Simon Atkins. If you want to say a few words, Simon.
Good evening, everybody. Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress, distinguished guests, Council for Mosque, thank you again for inviting us here this evening. It's good to see so many people paying attention. It's like lots of students and somebody practicing to get the qualification at the front of it, so I'll see how I go. See if I can pass the lesson. So what I would say is I've heard quite a number of sort of words come across really about sort of aspiration or inspirational or volunteering or professionalisation. We'll link all them words to children, and actually no matter what qualification people get, it would appear to me that we're all about doing the right thing. And when we look across Bradford and we've got one of the youngest cities or the youngest city in the UK, if we can get it right with our children and make sure they're safe and they're good citizens and they go out there in a really good way and actually become great members of society, especially in Bradford, then this must be an absolutely worthwhile bit of work that's been going on. So I'd like to congratulate local authority, Council for Moss and others who've pulled this together, right? They've had the foresight to work on this, make sure that we're not reacting to some work that were put in place nationally. This were actually ongoing before any work around supplementary schools came forward, so I'd congratulate you on that. And all I would say is I have every belief that this will go from strength to strength, because it is the right thing to do, and that's what we try doing in Bradford. Do the right thing, and actually good things follow. So congratulations to everybody who's passed the course, the first 13. Hopefully there's a lot more to follow. And would really welcome anything that West Yorkshire Police can do to support initiatives such as this. We will be there alongside you, because going back to it, it's about children and making sure our future in Bradford progresses and become good members of society. Thank you very much.